What's up, Sean? Appreciate you tuning in. Just adjusting some lighting here, trying to get this good to go ski. It's 4 o'clock. Is it 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock. 10.5 Brisket Commandments. Today is 10.5. Super quick, short, easy class, or live if you want to call it. Just gonna give it a couple minutes for some people to log on. I figured today it's more important to see the brisket than my mug, so I've changed the angle again. Quick recap: 10.5 commandments of brisket. Make a plan, stick to the plan. Be prepared, have your tools ready. Pans, knife sharpeners, knives, injectors, ingredients, have all that stuff ready. Select a good brisket, make sure it's nice and pliable. It's got good marbling and a nice thick flat. It's important to understand the flat versus the point. The flat is lean, the point is fatty. You got to take more care of the flat than the point, in that the point has more marbling, it's way more forgiving. I'm going to load this screen up while we're waiting for people to join in. Hopefully we get some more people. Commandment number 5, use your trimmings wisely. It's exactly what I wanted to show you guys. Yesterday I showed you the cubes and it was portioned out in about 20% fat and 80% lean. Put through a meat grinder and this is ready to go. Beautiful ground beef. I can use this for anything you would typically use ground beef for. I'm just loading up on my iPad here. If you guys have questions, fire away. Hopefully I can see them. Number 6 was inject your brisket. We used the Cosmos Q brisket injection, and we used the Butcher Barbecue original brisket recipe. I go half and half with each. I'm a big believer in injecting. If you don't have those products on hand, they're available at House of Barbecue Experts. You can also try products like beef broth and inject your brisket. That was number 6. Brisket on sale. As you're learning, if you find a sale of brisket that's $2.99 a pound, absolutely, that's where you want to start learning, and then invest into your more marbled out and higher quality brisket as you learn. If you can turn out a good brisket with something that's $2.99 a pound, and then you step up to the Northern Gold stuff that Chef Luke has at Finch Market. Nelson, will they make a good brisket burger? My friend, if you take this ground chuck from the brisket and you throw that into a burger with nothing on it, and you go side by side with a ground beef burger you're picking up at the supermarket, night and day. Without seasoning, just the beef is more rich, more flavor, and you'll notice it if you use it in sauces and in recipes. It's beef, right? There's nothing else but beef. It's excellent. I recommend everybody try it. Excellent brisket burgers, and actually great filler too. So if you have wild game that's typically very lean and gamey, and you need a filler to create ground chuck with that stuff, this is a great filler as well. Optional techniques. Yesterday we talked about water pans. We talked about using the crutch of foiling and wrapping the brisket. And then we talked about protecting the flat. It was number 9. And number 10 was texture trumps temperature. Tenderness trumps temperature. So we're going to get this beef out of the way, and we're going to bring in the star of the show. Now, today's live is more focused on the slicing and how we slice against the grain. That's the 10.5 commandments. It's the final commandment, slice against the grain, which is why you're looking at the product instead of at me. I did my best. Great way to remember. Debbie, yes, I agree. The fat protects the flat. Thank you. That was from yesterday. That means you tuned in. I appreciate it. So we're going to throw this brisket on. I had to try and carry this over from yesterday. So we got a nice jiggly brisket. This is what we're looking for. The bark is set. It's not rubbing off. This is a great looking brisket. I have a slight belief that this is probably a little bit overcooked. in that it'll be tender and likely fall apart. But we're not going to get away from what the goal is, and the goal is how to slice it. Before I slice it, though, I'm just going to pour some au jus on here. Some of the drippings that were on top of the brisket I reserved just to give it a nice little shine for you guys. Boom. How's that looking? Does that look all right? So I can already tell that some of this is super tender and a little bit overcooked and it's falling apart. But before I get into slicing, I want you to understand, so we notched this out in the trimming process, and the concept of notching this out was so we know where to start our slices and that we're against the grain. So when I trim this brisket, I knew the grain was all coming this way. You can see some of it has actually shifted a bit to the side. But I know that if I start my brisket slices this way, I'm going to be cutting against the grain. Understand that the flat portion, you can see it coming away from the point here. There's two muscles. This is that fat seam we talked about in the first live. At this point and underneath, the grain of the brisket changes directions. So as I slice and I reach this portion here underneath, I'm going to start changing my direction. Some people will just slice kind of right in half and do the squeeze test and see how much juice there is in it, and that's not a bad thing, I guess. I just don't want to slice anything by accident. So I'm going to start from the end where I notched and work my way to the point. As you learn your briskets and you get used to it, you'll be able to go a little bit quicker at this. But we're just going to slice. So we're going to slice in just a little bit and see how it's looking. See if we got a smoke ring. Before I slice, just a reminder, we're giving one of these away today. Please like and share the video. If you like and share the video, you will have a chance to win one of these. This is the finishing dust that I'm going to sprinkle on this stuff after it's sliced. So here we go. Nice sharp knife. I'm going to slice real thin on the end cap, and this part here we're going to save for the cook. Doesn't look too half bad. The fact that it's breaking and falling apart is okay in terms of tenderness. For competition, this would be overcooked. As I said, I've been resting this since 11 o'clock last night. That being said, resting for a long period of time is evidence that you're going to yield a juicy and tender product. If I was in competition and I noticed that my brisket was a little bit overcooked, and when I say overcooked, I mean too tender, what you can do is adjust the thickness of your slice to help hold it together a little bit. So basically, whenever you hold a brisket, it should fold over your finger, kind of like that, without falling apart. We're going to try and get one out of the middle here. And in competition, I wouldn't be turning in until I get to the middle of the brisket anyway. So that's it's borderline. It's almost overcooked. It tastes fabulous. Bam. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what's up. So it's just breaking apart. Nice smoke ring on it. You guys see that? It's beautiful. The flavor's for real. So we're slicing against the grain. This is overcooked for sure. And so for the competition world, slices like this is more what you're looking for, rather than these chunks here. And we notice now in this slice that we're starting to get the second muscle incorporated in here. And as we get to that muscle, now I know I'm almost at the point where I can switch directions and start slicing with the point, so that I'm getting those fatty pieces and good slices as well. Something else you can consider doing is, as this fat renders out, this fat between the point and the flat is so tender that you can actually just pass your hand right underneath and in between here and separate the two. and have a good visual of your point versus your flat. So these are the two separate muscles, the lean stuff and the fatty stuff. This fatty stuff is where we're going to get our burnt ends from. This is where we're cutting into 1-inch cubes if we so choose. So that's with the grain, right? We can see the direction of the grain, not a good slice. We want to be cutting and creating slices against that grain. And the fibers are just going to fall apart more easily. Super tender. You can see all the fat that was inside is liquefied completely. Nice and juicy. Oh, God. So, I apologize that it's a little bit overcooked. I knew it would be because I was holding it over temp since 9 o'clock last night. But that don't mean she's not going to be delicious. So I'm going to try to give you guys an up close. What's up? See if I can flip this thing around. Bam. So we got a beautiful, nice gold smoke ring, gold, pink. Beautiful smoke ring. Sliced against the grain. And that's her. So, don't forget to like and share this video. Thanks again for tuning in. Both episodes yesterday and today. I appreciate it very much. Like and share this video. We're giving away the Booster Barbecue Experts Rub, which is a flavor enhancer. We're going to dust this on now, just to give you guys an idea of what that looks like. Just a light coat. Bam. There we go. Wow, that's real good. That's real good. You guys want me to hang around for a couple of minutes? I'll see if you guys have any questions. Curbside pickup. Well, I'm not opposed. I don't know what the COVID rules are on curbside pickup, but I might have some leftovers to spare, Grant. It's possible. Curbside pickup. That's funny. So I'm not going to hold you guys long if you don't need to be here. I appreciate you tuning in. Like and share for a chance to win that Booster Flavor Enhancer. It's incredible. Thanks for tuning in on all the tips and questions. If you guys have any further questions, feel free to hit up on the comments, personal message me, or message House of Barbecue Experts. This team that we're a part of is so passionate about barbecue, and we really do live for improving the quality of our food, and this barbecue family and community is super, super tight. So, message if you have questions, if you have concerns. The next time you do a brisket, follow these tips. You're hopefully going to get a better product out of it. I got a question here to go over the Booster Rub. So this Booster Rub is a flavor enhancer. So in the competition world, there's a lot of kind of artificial flavoring that happens with flavor enhancers like MSG and meat tenderizers and that kind of thing. This Booster flavor enhancer is similar in concept, except it's all natural. So if you guys are away from, if you guys want to stay away from those MSGs and stuff, which by the way aren't that bad, they're delicious. Nonetheless, this Booster Rub is sorry, I'm not used to this reverse camera here. If you guys want to try some flavor enhancer, it's from dehydrated vegetables. It's phenomenal. It's got a nice salty texture and flavor to it. It's wonderful. So we're giving one of these away. I've been smoking so much briskets for a few years now, and I learned so much. Thanks. I enjoyed your sessions. Hey, Debbie, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad I can help. Of the 10 Commandments, even if you take away one positive of it, I hope it was worth the while. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Daryl Blakely, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support too, for picking up those Barbecue Experts products this week. Much appreciated. I hope I covered what you needed there, Jordan. I'm just going to scroll back up here and see if there's any questions I missed. The fat protects the flat. Good stuff. All right, a little bit more personal up close today. Enough of my mug. One more shot at this brisket, and then we're going to sign out. Thanks again for tuning in. Bam. Oh, baby. Look at this here. See you guys.